Let's get right into it. Today, we're going to strip away all the noise of modern life and get back to the absolute basics. We're talking about the raw, unfiltered fundamentals of human endurance. We're going to explore what it really takes to survive when absolutely everything is on the line.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. 7 days, lost in the Amazon with nothing. Not a movie, not a story. This is a real thing people have gone through. And it just makes you wonder, right? It forces you to ask a really big question.
So what is it? What's the secret sauce? Is it just dumb luck? Pure brute strength? Maybe having all the coolest, most expensive gear? Or is it something else entirely? Something deeper that maybe we all have buried inside us? Well, that's the big question we're going to unpack together.
You know, getting lost isn't just a simple mistake or a bit of bad luck. In the survival world, it's looked at as the ultimate test. It's completely impartial. It doesn't care who you are, how much money you have, or what you think you know. The only thing that matters is what you do next.
And this, right here, is the most crucial idea. Modern survival theory shows us, time and time again, that making it out alive is rarely an accident. It's actually a series of very deliberate decisions and actions. It's a process, a framework that you can actually learn and use when things go sideways. Okay, so if it's a process, then what's the blueprint? What's the game plan? Well, lucky for us, experts have basically boiled down the wisdom of countless survivors into some really simple, really powerful mental models. And these are the things that can literally mean the difference between life and death. It all starts with this simple acronym, STOP. Think of this as the emergency brake for your brain. The second you realize you're lost, your brain's panic button, that fight or flight instinct, it just tries to take over. So the first thing you do is you just stop. Physically stop moving. It's such a simple act, but it can break that spiral of panic. Next, you think. Take a deep breath, let your rational brain come back online. Then observe. Look around you. What do you actually have to work with? What's the weather doing? What time of day is it? And finally, you plan. You make a simple, achievable plan for what to do next. This whole 4-step dance is designed to bring order to absolute chaos.
Okay, so you've gotten your mind under control. Now the priority shifts to your body. The physical game of survival is a race against the clock, and it's governed by some really unforgiving laws of biology and whatever environment you're in. And to help you win that race, survivors use this amazing mental shortcut called the Rule of Threes. What's so great about this is how it instantly, and I mean instantly, clarifies what you need to do first. It cuts right through the fear and tells you exactly what's going to be the biggest threat to your life, right now.
First up, the big one. You can survive for roughly 3 minutes without breathable air. This is your immediate, #1 absolute priority. Next on the list, you've got about 3 days without water. Dehydration kicks in way faster than you think, and it messes with your ability to think clearly long before it becomes fatal. And finally, this is the one that always surprises people. You can survive for around 3 weeks without food. Your panicking brain is screaming at you to find something to eat, but this rule just brilliantly shows you that food is actually way, way down on your to-do list. So how does this rule turn into an actual plan? Well, it translates directly into your priorities. Your #1 job is shelter. Why? Because exposure, getting too cold or too hot, can take you out in just a few hours, way before thirst even becomes a serious problem. Once you're protected, then your second priority is finding and purifying water. Third is fire. You need it for warmth, for making water safe to drink, for signaling for help, and honestly, for the massive psychological boost it gives you. And only then, way down the list as a distant fourth priority, do you even start thinking about food. Now we've got the physical checklist. It's logical, it makes sense. But here's the reality. You could know all of this stuff, you could have all the skills in the world, and still not make it. Why? Because the most dangerous, unforgiving wilderness isn't out there. It's in here. The real fight is the one happening between your ears. So your mind can really go down one of 2 paths. The first path is panic. It just burns through your energy. It makes you do dumb things like wandering around in circles. And at the end of the day, it just destroys hope. But the other path is having a plan, even a simple one. A plan saves your energy, it gives you clear goals to focus on, and most importantly, it's an anchor for hope. And believe me, in a survival situation, hope is your fuel. And that fuel, that hope, it powers what experts call the will to live. Now, this isn't just some vague feeling of, oh, I'd rather not die. No, it's a deep, active, conscious commitment to keep going. It's that little voice inside that tells you to get up when you're freezing, to keep looking for water when your throat is cracked, to think about your family and fight like hell to get back to them. It is the engine that drives everything else. So, when we put all of these pieces together, the mental discipline from STOP, the logical priorities from the Rule of Threes, and that psychological strength of having a plan, a clear picture starts to form. It's not really about what you're carrying in your backpack. It's all about what you're carrying inside yourself. And this right here is the single most important lesson from pretty much every survival story ever told. Sure, the tools are great, the knowledge is critical, but they are totally useless without that engine running. The ultimate survival tool, the one thing you absolutely cannot afford to lose, is that powerful, unwavering will to live. So the survivor's code really boils down to this. First, you kill the panic with STOP, so you can think straight. Then, you figure out your priorities using the simple Rule of Threes. But you always, always remember that your mindset, your will to live, is the most powerful tool you have. And what that really teaches us is that resilience isn't some magic thing you're either born with or you're not. It's a skill. It's a muscle that you can train and strengthen. Which kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. If you were stripped of everything, what would that engine inside of you really look like? If you were faced with the wild, what untapped reserves of strength and resilience do you think you would discover within yourself?